Okay, so the task we need to do with this tank is we're heading towards having the holes and some of the rust areas brazed, and possibly the badge screw hole brazed or welded and then drilled and tapped. The end goal then is to do a respray of this back to its original colour, and so what I need to do is to first finish cleaning the inside of it. Now once the inside is de-fuel varnished and as much of the dirt and grime and residue etc is out of it, it needs to be de-rusted. So to do that, you see me using vinegar. We've tried electrolysis. So for this one, I've had a look around and got some of this stuff, Metal Rescue. Seen some good reviews on this. So I've got myself 2.5 litres and then some concentrate. So that will make 3.7. So that's 6. That's 7.4 litres. 9.9 litres of Metal Rescue, and I think this is a 9 litre tank, so hopefully this will fill this tank up completely to de-rust the inside. Then once that's de-rusted and rinsed out and as dry as I can get it, again product from the same company, is then this dry coat. I'm not sponsored by this company or anything, I've gone out and bought these, so we'll try this method for de-rusting and see how this product works, and then this for a rust preventative measure. So we'll get this into the tank, we'll slosh it all around the tank, and that should hopefully, it says, will prevent rust forming for up to a year. So we shall try that method for de-rusting the tank. To clean the tank out, I'm just going to use really hot water and clothes washing stuff. But then we need to get rid of the paint on the outside in preparation. It's going to probably be sandblasted a little bit for the welding and for the paint job, but I've been recommended to go for this stuff. So this is Star Chem, and it's a heavy duty paint stripper. I need to check on the health and safety warnings, but it's hazardous to health, it's corrosive, it's apparently extremely nasty stuff. Maybe fatal if swallowed or entered into the airways. So yeah, we're going to be really careful with this stuff, but this will then strip all the paint off, top and bottom, front and back, get it all back to bare metal. The main reason for doing this is that the respray job that was done on this back in the 90s is an extremely heavy coat of paint, and I am concerned that with these little rust spots that are appearing, that there's going to be some other rust spots somewhere in the tank, at the bottom of the tank. So I don't want to go through all of this work, all of this effort, etc., and then you know, in a year's time, etc., get another hole appearing and having to go through the entire process all over again. So again, just not sponsored by this company. It's what I've been recommended to get, and so we'll be using that. So yeah, I've got to continue trying to get this screw out. I need to go to work now, so I will have to think of some ideas on how to get this screw out. I would really rather we didn't have to drill it, weld and retap, because that will be difficult and will involve buying a new set of taps, because I haven't got this size and I haven't got a flat end tap to do this. So that's a bit of a challenge, but that's the joy of this, isn't it? You know, these little challenges we face along the road. So I'll keep whacking some of this penetrating oil. Sorry you can't see it too well because of the glare of the light, but yeah, we'll keep persisting with this, and I'll keep bringing you along on the journey. And so yeah, so for now, I'll see you back in a short while. Cheers. Right, it's been a couple of days later. I've not been able to get that screw out of the other side. There's one of these screw holes the other side, just not been able to get it out at all. I've drilled it. A bit of a loose end with it, what to do. Anyway, I've plugged the holes at the end, and at the moment I'm trying to get rid of all the varnish and trying to get rid of all the crap in it. Not necessarily the rust, but definitely all the varnish and that kind of stuff. So I've given it a good wash out, scrub out, had some nuts and bolts in there kind of thing, given a good shake, and now I've got a weak concentrate of vinegar in there, as I found that quite good with the carbs to get rid of the varnish, the fuel varnish. So that's in there. That's quite warm, hot water in there, and I've got the bit of blue tack bung in the hole to reduce some of the leaking that was coming out of there. So yeah, so the stage of this is to leave this for try and leave this overnight if I can, but I'm at work tomorrow, so it might be difficult. And then rinse all this out, rinse it again, wash it again, and then if I've got rid of all the varnish, we can then start getting some of the anti-rust in there and the rust prevention into the tank, and continue to try and remove one of the screws from in that hole there. So yeah, just a bit of a brief update. I'll keep you on track of how this is progressing. Right, welcome back. So I've had a load of vinegar on the inside, which is now quite a bit rusty in there, but the vinegar's now got rid of the varnish inside, etc., and hopefully this thin layer of rust will be got rid of by the metal rescue stuff. The next job now is to strip all the paint off it, and so before I do that I'm going to try and get rid of the pins that hold the latch and the lid on, so I can get in here with the paint stripper. So I'm going to heat up the ends and bash them through, and hopefully that will get the pin out. I've got replacement pins of this type and the ones with a little C-clip, so that's the job I'm going to try and do now. Right, I've no idea if this is going to work, but I bet I can't find any petrol anywhere, and I'm looking for my top. And I'll try and just heat up the end of this rivet just in here. Right, so I'm going to get a drill into that little rivet head there to try and just nip off the top of that rivet. And so I'll get this done. Bearing in mind it's all a bit hot right now. And of course you can't use the heat if you haven't obviously stripped out and filled it with vinegar and all that kind of stuff. So let's so yeah, down here. So inside here we've got the what is now quite melted nylon. Yeah, I'll get rid of that in a moment. Let's get the other rivet out. So same procedure. So this is the one that holds the latch in place. So this one down here. So we'll draw that out. Again, using the smaller drill, which in this case is a 2.5mm drill, and then increasing to a 3mm drill. Right, this one's a bit more tricky because it's closer in, so to the tank. So I'm not too bothered about the tank petrol paintwork because that's all being stripped and replaced. And it's worth noting that actually the hole size that the rivet goes through is larger than 3mm. So I'm now going to go for the 3mm drill on this, and then again we'll hit it through with the nail, hopefully. And there we are, all out. So we've got the latch, clip and spring and the old rivet, and we've then got the cap with its pin and what's left of the nylon washers. So that's now got those parts off, so I'll process those. I'll get them into the vinegar to probably get rid of the rust, and just so that you know, okay, again this hole in here is also just slightly larger than a 3mm drill. So starting with a 2.5 just to get into the rivet, and then a 3mm drill just to take the end of the flange off to weaken that, and then for the nail that I end up using as a push, I rounded the end off, squared the end up, etc., just so that it's not could get into the bottom of the flange of the rivet, so we can push it through. And one of these round nails, which is generally a little bit harder than your average nail. So yeah, useful tool, we'll keep that. But there we are, so that's all of that stripped off, ready to go. And yeah, the next thing is get all this set up and get the paint stripper on it. So this is where we are with the tank. We've got the lid off, we've got the latch off, we've still got a screw end stuck in one of the side pieces here, we've got a hole in the tank, and we've still got paint on it. Next job is paint stripping. So thanks for following along with this install of the CB200 restoration. I keep hitting these obstacles as I go through this project. It's almost as if the bike doesn't want to get on the road. Anyway, thumbs up if you've liked the video and you found it useful. Hit the subscribe button so you can follow along on progress on this restoration, and of course comments below, and I do try to reply to as many as I can. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you again soon on CB200 Rebuild. Thanks, bye bye for now.